everyone, and welcome to the RobBrod Report, version 1, show number 2, emanating from the man cave of the Brodhecker residence in downtown Lithia Springs. Cheap pop. I was originally going to just do there, I'm looking at the camera now. I'm not looking at the screen, I'm looking at the camera. Now I'm blinded. Originally, since it was my weekend of work, I didn't go to any shows. I was going to do a brief synopsis of how I became a wrestling fan and how I started doing things up here in Georgia from when I moved up from Florida. But instead, I found out that there's a 2-day tournament coming up. And since I'm a sucker for handicapping tournament, I'm going to handicap the New South Wrestling Association Professional Wrestling Hoss tournament. Well, what do you think I was doing the SCI? They haven't announced all the participants yet. And both of them haven't announced all their participants yet. So I'm doing the Hoss tournament with 16 people in it. The Hoss refers to the number of competitors, not the actual size of the competitors, much to Logan Creed's chagrin. It is going to be in March 6th and 7th, Friday and Saturday, Hartsville, Alabama, at the Sparks Civic Center. The winner will get a title shot at the time and place of their choosing. I'm going to run down the 16 competitors with the odds that I give them, overall odds I'm giving of winning, and then I'll be doing the bracket showdown. And I'm picking the winners on that as a forehand onto this. Some of these wrestlers I'm not that familiar with. Some I'm familiar with, but I haven't seen in quite a while. So this is really, really, really a guess. I have no idea how this is going to play out, and so I'm just guessing, really. But this is based on what I see and all other factors, and this is who I think are going to win. Kurt Stalin is overall favorite, 2-1. Mr. Brickster, 8-1. A.R. Fox, 7-1. Daniel Perez is 12-1. Baron Black is 3-1. Mance Warner is 3-1. Blake Christian, 7-1. Tyler Matrix is 6-1. Shug D is 4-1. Derek Neal is blinded by the light. 9-1. Brett Eisen is 3-1. Hallow Wicked is the tournament long shot at 13-1. Stephen Michaels 5-1. Cody Vance 4-1. Adam Priest 5-1. Chris Kronk, is 6-1. As you can tell, that's a lot of people bunched up there. So I don't, Kurt is the overall favorite, but it really is a pick'em tournament. For the first round matchups, we have Kurt Stallion versus Hallow Wicked. I'm picking Stallion. Shug D versus Daniel Perez. I'm picking Shug D. Chris Krunk versus Mr. Brickster. I'm pressing Krunk. Fuck you. Cody Vance versus Brett Eisen. This was a tough one for me. I'm going with Brett Eisen. It could go either way on that. Neil versus Black. I'm picking Baron Black. Mance versus Priest. That was another tough one. I've only seen Mance, I think was at the last year's Scenic City. And Adam Priest I haven't seen in several years. I'm going to go with Mance on that. Matrix versus Michaels. Two men I'm not familiar with. I've seen Stephen Michaels just recently at the Peach State show, with the Matt Hankins Presents Shane Marks Invitational featuring Brian Blaze, Carter Subject to Change. He was a competitor in that. I'm going to go with Tyler Matrix. And then we have AR. Oh, I forgot. I miss AR Fox? Oh, I did get AR Fox. AR Fox versus Blake Christian. This was somewhat of a tough one. I'm going to go with my gut feeling here and go with Blake Christian. Nothing against AR Fox. All right, round 2, which is I believe that's going to be night 1. That's going to be March the 6th. That's 8 matches. I hope that's going to be it for that. Round 2 should be Saturday, March 7th. From what I can tell of the brackets, you can check that out on the Facebook, New South's Facebook page. It's got a nice little bracket up on that. Print it out, play along at home. I got Kurt Stallion versus Shug D. That is a tough one. Two, I hate to use the word indie darlings, but they're very well known, and it's, if this was, I hate to say it, other places, there'd be a lot of people getting chubbies over this. I'm going to go ahead and go with Stallion because he is my overall pick. No, nothing against Shug D. If it was a different side of the bracket, I would think Shug D would be making the final four. Chris Crunk versus Brett Eisen. I hate to say this, Chris Crunk goes to the final four. Fuck you. Oh, let's see. Baron Black versus Mance Warner. I'm going to have to go with Black over the veteran Mance. That's another tough one. These are very tough picks here. And so I have to trying to play the overall game here, and I think Baron's going to win that. Might be by crook, might be by hook, but I think Baron will win. And then we got a high-flying matchup. It looks, from what I've seen on my research, of Tyler Matrix and Blake Christian. And that, bodies will hit the floor on this, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to go with Tyler Matrix. So my final four is Kurt Stallion, Baron Black, Chris Crunk, fuck you, Tyler Matrix. And then, as going really out on a limb, I'm going to pick Baron Black as my winner. No pressure. And the first eliminated, Chris Crunk. Fuck you. That's an internet joke. Go with it. And by the way, as a disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only. I use this as a brain exercise to try and figure out what other people like to do with other people. Not in that sense. Get your minds out of the gutter, bastards. So anytime a tournament comes up, I break out the old pad and I work out, try to figure out what I do. So far, I've seen me picking pretty good. So either some of you guys got to step up your games, you're getting too predictable, or I'm smarter than I thought. God, are we in trouble. Anyway, that's a look forward to the Haas tournament from New South Wrestling over in Alabama. Everyone has to, I think that's a national law. You have to say Alabama like Keith Jackson. All right. Now that is done and out of the way, I have a look forward to the shows coming up this week, and we do have a few of them. And I will be going to some of these shows. First of all, on Thursday, we have the WWA for School show in off of Fulton Industrial. Check out the website on the Facebook. Make sure you get the right Facebook page. There's like 6 of them. But it's not the old Club Wax location. It's the new location further south. It's a little bit nicer. Friday the 28th. Couple anniversary shows, actually. Pro South number 500 over in Piedmont, Alabama. They're bringing back some of the favorites and crowd favorites from previous years. And again, if you're in the area, go to that show. They need people there. Enough people watch it online. Go watch it in person. I always prefer watching things in person, watching online. That's just me. So I hardly watch any TV or other internet activities. Alternative Pro Wrestling is having their 13th anniversary show in Royston, Georgia. I will be heading to that show and doing a report. A couple of interesting matches is the main events. Jacob Ashworth versus Jeremy Vane. If Ashworth wins, APW is gone. Finish, gone, caboozled, Pearl Harbored, etc., etc. Vane wins. He gets Jonathan Feltner in the cage. Oh, poor old Felt. And also, a battle of winners of GeorgiaWrestlingHistory.com's Performer of the Year Awards in Shug D and Matt Sexcel. That should be a great matchup. So again, that's APW in Royston, Georgia. Check out their Facebook event page. Saturday the 29th, I've got 6 shows that I found. I did a fairly deep flop, thank you, Logan, into Facebook and Georgia and a couple Facebook groups, and I found the shows. Only a couple of them, about 6 shows, about 3 of them actually had posts up about it, and 2 I didn't even know they were even running until I did a search. First off is this week's winner of Poster of the Week in Georgia Pro Championship Wrestling in Buchanan, Georgia. I will be headed to that show. Lucky you. And take my money. Then you have AIWF, Southern Showdown, Battle for the Belts in Albany, Georgia. Looks to be, I think they got Tommy Wildfire Rich at that show. Something called KLT Promotions in Rome, Georgia. Renegade Championship Wrestling in Chatsworth. SWA, also known as Southeastern Wrestling, Leap Year Madness in Newton, Georgia. That's near Albany, so we got 2 shows running in South Georgia. They're fairly close to each other. And then in Carrollton, Georgia, that's a double header, IWA / DS. First show is Shoot Style Baby, and the other half is Lethal Leap Year. It's going to be, first match is going to be like a death match, shoot style, and then other stuff. The first show starts at 3. Later show starts at 7:30. That's at the fairgrounds in Carrollton. And Sunday, March the 1st, I've got 2 shows. School of Morton in Chuckery, Tennessee, is going to be starting doing a weekly show. So I'm guessing like the other schools are going to be doing weekly shows on that. And then I believe, thanks to Chris Nelms as a late arrival, in Gainesville, Georgia at 4 o'clock, there's going to be I'm guessing it's affiliated with Mucha Lucha. I know Habla Espanol, but it's in Gainesville, Georgia. And I know some of the Takiri John, Josh Storm, Nelms, and Ravina Vane, and a couple other people are going to be there as well. And then as also following into next week, I'll mention it next week, is going to be on Wednesday the 4th in Valdosta, Spine Buster Wrestling. I will be headed to that. I know that's on the weekend. If anyone is, because all the waves they've been making and all the buzz, if anyone wants to go down with me, carpool, I will be happy to accept riders. Unless you want to give up the ass, but that's neither here nor there. Cash is king. But if you want interested, drop me a line, and then we'll make arrangements to go down to Valdosta. Probably about a 4-hour trip there, one way. So I've also a couple housekeeping notes. As I say, this is version 1, show number 2. I am going to start taking reads if you are interested in doing some advertisements, since this is just going to be a read and not a commercial. 30-second spot read. I will be selling some time for that. Trying to get some money so I can get the equipment to upgrade and maybe do some actual play commercials and do graphics and sounds and other stuff. So read, that is available. 30-second read. Message me for details, and we'll work out something. Also been thinking about adding wrestler birthdays to this. Several years ago, unfortunately, the gentleman is Larry would know the details on that, but he no longer does it. But they would have the wrestler's date of birth and also in memoriam stuff. I don't want to do the in memoriam stuff, but if anyone if everyone is okay with me announcing birthdays for the week, I'll be happy to do that. It is based on information that is publicly available on Facebook. If you don't want your that information out there, then you might want to change your privacy settings. You should do that anyway. Just and also stop accepting friend requests from everybody. That's again neither here nor there. Anyway, that's basically what I have it for this week. Just about 15 minutes. Hopefully I didn't mumble too badly. And again, if you are interested in advertising, please message me. We'll discuss rates, and we'll work 30-second reads in and or whatnot. If not, I'll see you at the shows, and we'll see you next week.